Hello, this is Photography Gamer, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Far Cry 5 for the Xbox Series S. The game's also available on PlayStation, Windows and Google Stadia. Far Cry 5 is an open world first person shooter developed by Ubisoft Montreal and Toronto. This installment is set in Hope County, a fictional region of Montana in the US of A. A doomsday cult have taken over the county and it's your job to overthrow the different regions by way of guerrilla tactics. So what is the game like to play? Well, firstly you get to create your own character, but it's the usual terrible attempt by Ubisoft providing minimal customization or suitable options to create a cool looking character. After the initial prologue, you're set free into an expansive open world where you're pretty much free to do as you please. As you explore the different areas, you'll encounter hostile cult members, dangerous animals, or potential allies or civilians that you need to rescue from execution. The missions themselves are pretty straightforward, usually involving killing groups of enemies at certain locations. You'll be taking back camps, destroying enemy shrines, blowing up monuments, and doing whatever you can to destabilize the region. Think of it like a first-person Ghost Recon Wildlands in terms of how it's structured. You chip away at the enemy bit by bit, taking back each area, one explosion or one kill at a time. The characters in Far Cry 5, however, are almost all completely forgettable, with one or two cult members being the exception to the rule. The game is lacking in the story department and it's more of a fun sandbox game world with lots of things to do than anything else. But if you're looking for a compelling narrative or good characters, then you'll probably be disappointed. Also, most of the enemies looked identical, which felt a little bit lazy in terms of enemy design. In terms of loadout, you can fully customize your weapons, including buying new parts or changing their colors. The same applies to the vehicles in the game, and driving around the map is actually a really pleasurable experience, and you end up in all sorts of fun skirmishes on the open road. You have a perk tree to unlock depending on what special skills you want, from grappling hooks to the ability to command extra AI teammates. The solo experience is good for a time, but after a while I have to say it does start to drag, and that's really where the co-op comes into its own. Far Cry 5 is at its best played with a friend, and there's something really entertaining about taking on a large cult with a mate that really just adds value to the playthrough. Finally, the open world is what you would expect from Ubisoft. It's large, detailed, very cool to explore, but also has a sense of emptiness and tedium the longer you spend playing within it. Yes, destroying landmarks is good fun, like the epic statue or the faux Hollywood sign, but these moments were a little bit too fleeting, and mission variety, I would say, needs addressing in future games. Visually, the game has had an upgrade on the Xbox Series S and it runs very smoothly. The rural setting is really nice to explore, looks great, and generally I would say graphically it's a good looking game. Menus were clear, well signposted, easy to read fonts, etc. In terms of music and sound effects, the game is a pretty good high standard. Voice acting though, that's up and down, mostly pretty bog standard stuff. But it's not a narrative driven piece, it's more about action. Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? The open world is beautiful, vast and fun to explore. The first person combat is smooth and satisfying. The perk tree gives you a sense of freedom to play in your own style, and online co-op is a blast. What's bad? The characters are paper thin. The story doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Solo, the game does start to struggle after about 10 hours and the mission variety was quite disappointing. So what's the verdict? Far Cry 5 is very much a typical Ubisoft game. Big open world, lots of busy work, things to collect, things to shoot, and some good fun co-op play. But it lacks a compelling story or compelling characters, and the moments where it does strike the right tone are few and far between. However, the open world guerrilla tactics and combat, they are very entertaining in small doses, and I did have some fun sessions playing. It's the kind of game you can pick up and play for a few days, leave for a month or two, then come back to it because you don't really need to remember too much. It's not compelling or involving, it's more like a fun, open world sandbox where you can kind of do whatever you want to do. So my score for Far Cry 5 is 7 out of 10. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.